let's talk about last year in May. It actually started out strong. This very Star Citizen Live that we watched, this was the beginning of May last year, and it was amazing. They talked about economy updates. They talked about 323, bed locking, scope glint, master modes, performance, what's going on with the next update, a whole bunch of stuff. And even like, how does a solar player fit into Star Citizen? This is a pretty good Star Citizen Live, and in general, the Star Citizen Lives were pretty good back then. Hopefully we get a good one this week. That would have been this week last year. Hopefully we see a good one, but their focus is different now. This year it's going to be about a ship coming in Invictus week. That's funny. That's very 2025 CIG. Right, so Invictus last year had the Firebird, the Ursa Medivac, and the Mirai Pulse. Actually, the Mirai Pulse came with 323. The Medivac was a big change, but this wasn't. Oh, our MPUV tractor as well. So the ships we got last year at Invictus weren't that crazy, but the hubbub didn't really start until later in the month. Invictus launch week, they dropped the schedule. For anybody who doesn't know how this works, Invictus launch week is like a very it's a very important time for the game overall. This is one of the busier months. May is going to be one of the busier months of Star Citizen, and you can see that reflected every single year in their funding, in their memberships growth, in all the things. A lot of these spikes you see on this map here. So that's the December-November spike. But then you go forward. Oh, that's still notes. Okay. What year is this? 2019? Wow, we didn't hit it very well, huh? All right, here's the May spike of 2020. Here is the May spike of 2021. Here's the May spike of 2023, December, and the May spike of 2024. So you can see, and that one's kind of covered up, but you can see that it spikes around that time every year. And you can see this in the months too. Once they started doing Invictus Week, which I believe their first one was 2019 or 2020. And you can see in 2020, May started taking off. And then every year after that, May has been huge. The other big month is November. So May and November are very important months for Star Citizen. And we'll be seeing the same here. You'll see a lot of marketing coming out for it. They will have free flights, most likely scheduled. They highlight certain ships every day. So even if there is no free flight scheduled, these should be available for you to rent on all the days of the week. And you'll be able to see the details for this for each day as we get closer to Invictus Week, which starts mid-May, about May 17th. This year, probably be May 18th or May 17th. Maybe they stick to the dates. And there's actually some pretty good stuff released to go along with it too. I think one of the most hyped times they did the Invictus trailer was when they showed off the F8 finally for the first time, which was, yeah, that was their 2020 show.
The time has come. To embark on another bold adventure. To face dangers, new and old. We feel your deeds far and wide.
Everybody with me? Let's give them a show.
And when you finally stand victorious, we will stand beside you, united in purpose.
Yeah, so they've always done, I think the trailers for Invictus are actually pretty interesting. I like their energy, and they do some cool, this is a pretty cool one. Let's watch this one too.
The universe is about new beginnings.
It's about asking the really big questions, then taking that first step to an answer.
for supporting the people of the Empire in times of crisis.
It's about doing what's right, even in the face of impossible danger.
To shield our homes from the threats both outside and inside our border.
It's about living up to the proud tradition of this uniform and those who gave their lives for it.
So, yes, the universe is full of beginnings.
That's the quantum sound we need.
No matter where our
I can't. Every time I hear this video, I have to go back to that part.
But no matter where our paths take us, we all have our place in the fleet. United in purpose.
Brother, I just want to play Star Citizen's trailers, to be honest. That trailer's so good. So yeah, they put out some really good stuff for their Invictus Week event, and then they have a whole, of course, they've got a shop where you can grab stuff, but I promise there is more to it than that. I think this is just it's the old page. So they let you choose and see all the different companies and what their day looks like. I would say this is a really good chance for if like you're new to the game, hop in for this. The performance won't be as good because Invictus Week is oftentimes more crowded, but there's a chance for you to try out ships you haven't gotten to try out before. So that happened last year. I mean, Invictus Week obviously is a big part of May. We also have Drake defensecon that happens after Invictus. That's actually where the Ironclad was introduced last year. And you all know the Ironclad is it's just a small ship not many people really talk about too much. And it's not coming, guys. It's not coming out in May, I'm sorry. That's my belief, at least. Maybe it does, but if it does, then I'll probably, I don't know. I that would be insane if this came out for Invictus or for Drake defensecon, but I don't think it will. I think that they have far too much to gain from promoting this ship before it comes out and to not have said anything about it. Basically since CitizenCon. Right. One of the big things they do during Invictus is they have the Q&A for vehicles, Star Citizen Live, where they just talk about ships. Hopefully that is where we get a lot of answers about these ships that we're more curious about. Usually there's some good info there. Not as much the last couple of years, but we should hear something important then. If the Ironclad, dude, if the Ironclad comes out at Drake defensecon week, I will eat 5 olives on camera. I don't know why I said that. It's not going to come out though. I'm not expecting the Perseus either. I think both of those ships will be end of year ships. They also released the Firebird. So yeah, I don't think they're going to release any big ships at Invictus. I think they're going to release significant ships. I don't think they're big. Paladin for sure. I guess the Starlancer is a fairly big ship, so that too. Attack. But I think that we're pretty set on ships, to be honest. I think we're going to see something straight to flyable that's a surprise. Probably a variant of something else that's come before, or a new version of a ship that has come before. And then we will see the Paladin, and we will see the Starlancer attack. Oh, I think there will be a concept release for the Asgard, I guess. Paladin expected. I think the Paladin, yeah. I think we'll see the Paladin. Here's my expectations, all right? Here's my on the ship side of things. This is in November. So the ship art team in November was moving the Paladin through either the white or gray box stage. Now this is the smallest ship that they mention here, except for the Argo CSV. which is a vehicle. Actually, the RSI Apollo might be smaller, but the two small ships on this list are the Apollo and the Paladin. The other ones here are the Pioneer, the Ironclad, the Starlancer, and the Perseus. And we know for a fact the Starlancer is coming, but we know the Pioneer's not coming. We know the Ironclad, well, I believe the Ironclad's not coming. And the Perseus, I believe, is not coming. The Anvil Paladin makes way more sense. There's no gameplay holding it back. It's completely combat related. It's meant to replace another ship that is, I think, Squadron 42 related. So they do have reason to get it released. Well, that basically lines up everything that's happening in May. I mean, there's not going to be a lot of other things, really. We'll get a roadmap roundup. Maybe we'll get like a Star Citizen Live or something, but as far as their video productions go nowadays, they don't seem to be too concerned with filling them with that much info, so it'll probably just be a look at a ship that's coming at Invictus Week or something. Either way, there's a little look at what May is going to have in store.